All right, good morning, everyone. So the market is open today. Today is Columbus Day, but I mean it's kind of a meaningless holiday, and no offense, but and so the market is open today. Listen, man, I think Columbus was kind of a jerk, but you know, well, all right. Anyways, moving on. First one I'm looking at is PBR from 1391 to 1597. Looking at IGC gapping up from 405 to 468. Oh wait, I got you muted, man. There we go. All right, now you can talk.
Oh, what's going on, guys? Hey, how you doing?
Yeah. uh, all right, we got ALT gapping up. We got PBR, IGC, NBEV gapping up a small amount. One I can't trade that still looks interesting is CLDC. This one's gapping up with a lot of volume. I'm not surprised it's not tradable in tests just because it didn't have a lot of volume before that. But yeah, gapping up from 80 cents to $1.53, so almost 200%, or almost 100%, I should say. Almost 100% at 155 now. ITUB. Next one I'm looking at, gapping up from 1222 to 1359. We have BBD gapping up from $8 to $8.81. We have EWZ. EWZ is an ETF gapping up from 36.66 to 40.12. We have PYX gapping up from 28.18 to 30.50, and we have AMRN, which isn't gapping up at all. It's actually gapping down, but it's been moving every day, so I'm still going to watch this one. Oh, wait, sorry if there's an echo. Yeah, there's an echo. Sorry about that. Weird, I can't hear it. Maybe it's turned down too much. Can you guys hear me? How's the volume sound? What's the volume like in this? Volume should be pretty good, judging by this. Yeah, I'm just glad they didn't close the market day. I'm just glad the market's open. That's all I really care about, But market's open. All right, so this is what I'm watching. Main two watches are probably IGC and PBR. They're both gapping up some. IGC has looked pretty rough lately, pretty weak. Came all the way back down to 405. Mitch and I were talking about it yesterday. I mean, it's gapping up from 36 cents to 405, but I think it's done. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, I think we did get three straight red days, so at least in my sense, I'm expecting a bounce here, guys. Um, I think this can get up today somewhere around even up to all the way up to that resistance at 770. I have a feeling this one's gonna run today, and they're gonna give a little bounce before they start coming down completely. Usually we don't get straight up that parabolic and then straight down that parabolic. They're usually on the down move. You usually get elevators down and then a little like kind of step up, trying to break a resistance, and then another elevator down following that. So at least for me today, I can see the wheat stocks bouncing. I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on them. The real important thing for me is the daily charts. The daily charts have supports now, at least for IGC at 397. 397 is what you would need to see at least pull down underneath so that you could think this stock is bearish for the day. And it's up there at 467 now. I can see it. If it gets above 520s, it can definitely start ripping up. I'm actually more interested in NBEV, which is more at the top of the range. And
Yeah.
this is a stock that's been, talking about weed, fluff news. I'm more interested in this stock, especially since it's gapping up, but very slightly, and then just kind of hanging around a big resistance point up there, guys, is kind of like a trend line that you can draw
Yeah.
from these last multiple highs.
I'll be right back, guys. I'll be right back.
So what you want to see for MBEV, it's really not along unless it gets above 925s. I think this is gonna really tank today, guys. This is really my main watch of the day. NBEV. I think alt is amazing stock, way overextended. I called that stock dead on for the daily chart. I saw it back when it was up there at $30. Wanted to short it, but couldn't short it due to the fact that it's just
Hold on,
not
bud.
tradable. Just not tradable for us. But
Ugh.
I definitely
My kids are home today because it's Columbus Day. And so I'm trying to multitask here. Ugh. Alright. What were you saying, Mitch? My bad, bro.
no, I'm just talking about alt that I definitely would think it's a good trader. It's just kind of a stock that's not tradable for us, so that's why we're not watching it. But definitely one to watch. I think this is one of those that is doing kind of the same thing. When it's super overextended, came back down to support, now bouncing. Probably going to try a resistance. The next resistance level, I could see it up there. Probably trying up there about 1435s before coming back down. The thing I would say about ALT is that when it did trade back at $30, it was trading very spready. So be careful
Yeah.
with the spreads. You don't want to get caught in a 30 or 40 cent spread with over 100 shares.
Yeah.
Seeing as you can just really just cause yourself to get big in the risk game.
Yeah, this one got halted a bunch. I remember when this one kind of went crazy a while back. Let me see. This was on the 20th of September. It went crazy. I remember, or maybe a little bit, maybe like the 17th and 18th. But it's not tradable regardless for me, and so I just try to move on. But it looks interesting. It's definitely gapping up a lot and ran a lot. Just on Friday alone, it ran up from 450. So
MBEV is definitely my top watch for the day. I don't have to question it.
yeah, it's
The
right around
daily
the top
chart
of the
tells
range.
me. The daily chart tells me to watch this stock no matter what. Mad volume over the last, you know, pretty much 2 months. So there's a lot of people in this. Has done created a nice top at $10. A nice big resistance there in the 920s. So I would like for this to push up to $9 and fail,
Mm-hmm.
or come down and bounce off of that 815.
Right.
815 is where I could see it crashing through, bouncing a little bit, and then tanking down through $8.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that too. Yeah, I'm just looking for it to get rejected around the highs. We'll see. I mean, you got to be careful, obviously, but it has.
It's very swingy. It's very swingy. It's not an easy trade, but it's one definitely to watch today.
Yeah, for sure.
Look at ALT there. It got slammed with like 6,000 shares and just
Whoa.
completely tanked.
Wow. There it goes.
I,
Look at that. Whoa.
I watched it. I watched it just get slammed on.
This is one of the biggest percentage drops I've seen
But this is
in a
why I
long
tell you
time.
guys, time and sales is really where it's at, guys. I saw 6,000, 2,000 shares get shorted
Wow.
there.
Look at this,
And
man.
for 8,000 shares of this stock, look at the
40%
volume.
drop. A
Look at
40%
the
drop in less than a minute, man. That is crazy.
the key to this, guys, is not look at that volume that's hidden. Do you see 240? There's 240,000 shares that went through there. They did not go through on the time and sales. This is when you get beat by traders that are smarter than you guys. Smart money is definitely shorting this. It got hit really hard there in the nines, and just got smacked down there, guys.
Man, that's like a 45% drop in less than a minute. Or it's a 40% drop in less than a minute. It's a 45% drop in less than 2 minutes. But man, it's almost down to 50% drop. That's crazy, man. It went right to 10, down to
That's
5.
a good thing for you guys to learn, guys. Especially you guys that were like probably like, oh, ALT is a good stock to trade today.
I mean, it might be a
really,
good stock to short. I mean,
I mean, not
not now.
I mean,
Not now, but
this is the kind of stock, guys, that you gotta more watch out for, guys. If you really saw the price action from the stock back on September 20th, you would known that this is not an easy trader. This is a stock that didn't follow any patterns,
was
got
halted
up
a
there
bunch.
ridiculous, and then just completely tanked down. Very manipulated stock that, investors that are in this, they're not trading, small share size. their 100,000 shares. There's definitely some inside information out somewhere. ALT here for making these kinds of moves is definitely more stock manipulation, and these are the stocks you kind of want to avoid. Unless you can really, really start seeing the spreads equal up, more retail traders in it. But if you can see, it's just getting slammed on the time and sales, and a lot of hidden volume that's going through dark pooling. Because for it to get to 200,000 shares pre-market, I would have seen a lot more on my time and sales, and it just wasn't there, guys.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you guys got to learn from that.
You tried to buy ALT at 974 a long. Hey, I hope you didn't get filled, brother. Yeah, I mean
God
now's
bless
interesting,
your soul.
right? But hey, I'm gonna go ahead. If anybody's interested in signing up to Trade Ideas, that's the scanner I've been using. A really awesome dynamic scanner. You can do so much different stuff with customizing it, building your own scans, and there's a lot of really good info on it as well. They were nice enough to let me stream these scans, and so I feel like I should probably post that if anybody's interested in signing up to Trade Ideas. And yeah, really awesome free scanner. If anybody has any questions about it, not free scanner, I'm sorry. Really awesome scanner that has a lot of free, useful kind of walkthroughs on how to build scans online. It is a paid scanner, it's not free, but it's super dynamic, allows you to customize it, do a lot of really cool stuff. And, you should go check it out. You can either go to trade-ideas.com, trade-ideas.com, or you can go through that link. But man, what a crazy move with ALT. Bizarre, man. I almost want to buy it here on Robinhood. Just buy like 10 shares real quick, you know? Just because, man.
I'd highly not advise that.
I mean, you can look at the daily, though, and just see what happens when this thing moves like this. Like, if you look at the daily, you really can kind of get a good idea of just...
This
it
is
always
exactly
comes back down.
what they would call buying a knife. If you want to buy knives, I can throw knives at you, John.
Yeah,
Let me
man.
know.
I'm just saying.
You just can't do that though. The reason that you can't just buy here, guys, this stock just went down $5. Yes, it should have some mean reversion, probably to the $7. But the only problem with that is that if there is bigger traders in this and they knock it down in the fives here, they'll knock it right back down to $1. And let's say you go and you buy 100 shares, you're gonna lose $300 to $400 on this trade.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I disagree. I think it
that.
may bounce, man. I think it may bounce now. That's a big drop. It filled the entire gap plus some, and so we'll see. I think if it does bounce, it's gonna bounce maybe up to like 7, and then it might come back down. But I still can't talk. I still think it might bounce some, but who knows, man? I mean, it's still got a big gap to fill, but
I always say you got to go with what's viable. It's not viable to buy here.
I just think
unless you really set yourself up for a $7 gain, then that's the real key. If you're gonna wait for $7, then that's fine.
Yeah, for sure, I could see that, but
risk to reward there. Risk to reward. What's the risk in this?
I mean, think realistically. Now the risk is only if you go long, the risk. Let me see. The risk is realistically till about $4.08. That's where the low of the last year has been at $4.08, and so you would have to set or $4.07. And your potential reward, you could depending on how you want to set it, would at least be at like 863 if you're using the daily chart, But who knows, man? I mean, we can disagree, but we'll see what it does at the open,
Yeah, it's just one of those that I would say you'd have to think about this. Yeah, there's high potential reward, but it's not a pattern. And I never agree with taking any trade purely based on price action unless you know the stock, unless it follows a certain pattern or you saw a certain time and sales order to get you on that side. One of the key things that if you were long here, you would be in what we call in between. You would be just kind of watching right now. You wouldn't know what to do.
For sure. Also, look at CLDC. CLDC is starting to spike up just now. It's up from 80 cents It's up to $1.83 now, so it's up $1 from where it closed yesterday or Friday. And so it is up, running, not tradable unfortunately, but it is moving, and I'm definitely gonna watch it with Robinhood possibly. See if we can get some good trades going on with that one, but. I'm not going to be surprised if the volume's a little low today, although the volume in pre doesn't really look that bad for a holiday today, so we'll see what happens, We got some volume moving. We got PBR and IGC, which are probably my two biggest watches, though. IGC gapping up from 405 to 470. PBR gapping up from 1391 to 1583. We have BBD. BBD gapping up from 8 to 809 or 890, gapping up about 90 cents. We have EWZ, which is an ETF, gapping up from 36.66 to 39.94. We have PYX, gapping up from 28.18 to 31.50. And yeah, that's really about it. We have ITUB gapping up from 12.22 to 13.60. So that looks interesting. Keep an eye on NBEV, like Mitch and I were talking about, AMRN.
Yeah, it's bouncing off the support here, guys. We're going to see how it reacts here, guys. What I would want is actually shares getting filled here, a little bounce, and trying to get back up there to those 888s, $9, and failing near the open, guys.
Okay, so yeah, so this is what's going on. This is what's going on with ALT. James kind of let us know. He said some traders are talking about ALT 25 million offering at $5.40 a share with warrants is basically what he's heard. I'm going to look up the news in just a second, just because, I'm curious to see exactly what's going on as well. But if you look at BBD here, BBD's starting to spike up to around the highs, or around the whole $1.09 with some volume. And so I'm going to keep an eye on that one as well as ITUB. BBD and ITUB starting to run up some, push up. But I'll be right back. I'm going to get my computer ready to look up the news. All right. ALT was once worth over $400 a pop. Let me look at the 3-year chart. Yeah, I mean, I gotta go back. I know last year in May it was worth 237, but I'm sure it's gotten some offerings and some splits. But since then, is probably what is going on with it. But look at ITUB starting to spike up some, up to 1380. BBD as well, and PYX. I got a few starting to get some volume a little bit later today. No, I actually trade on stream. Yeah. So what I do every morning, sorry if I can't pronounce your name, brother, but yeah, what I usually do is I go over what's moving in pre-market, and then I trade live for about an hour and a half after the open. So I usually trade until about 10:15, 10:30 market time, maybe a little bit later. And so, I trade on stream. I actually trade on stream.
All right, come on, MBEV, bounce for me. Come on. Just need that one to bounce and hang around.
We'll see if it's gonna bounce. It should bounce
It'll
around
be right here.
Right.
Yeah, right about here.
It's got that support from Friday and the sum from Thursday as well. So
there is IGC breaking out like I thought it would be, especially over the 520s.
Yeah.
I expected that, guys. It's just too much on the daily down for it not to kind of reverge back.
Right.
I say 583 right now looks interesting as target,
Yeah,
and you'll see it push really hard up there.
it's kind of why Mitch and I are always talking about overextension, like how much the stock is overextended. I think that's one of the most important things to look at, both on the upside and downside, because I think that kind of forms our trade ideas most of the time is the overextension on the stocks. And so when you look at a daily chart like IGC, who's just gotten hammered from its highs all the way, its highs were about 1458, and it's just gotten hammered every day since then. It's down to $4.05. Naturally,
Hey,
you're going to start thinking it's going to move back up. So I kind of agree with that one too.
yeah, definitely a trade that I need to kind of learn more about these. I kind of always had this feeling after we get to a certain level and we got there on the support on the daily, you see that last little green tick at September 20th, use that resistance and you understand that now it's created a support. So after it creates support, what usually happens, guys, just like when we get the run for the VWAP fade, is we get another test of the resistance before it comes back to the support. So that's what this move here is, guys. So this 520. If you move back, you'll see on about the beginning of the day on Friday, there's this 523 high, 533. That's what it's trying to get above now. If we can get above there, the next spot to go is 580s.
Yep. I can see
There's the
that.
MBEV all the way down below 8. That's not
Yeah.
what I wanted to see, guys.
It's
It's
going
already
to tick.
doing its move. This is the move that we're trying to trade.
Right. We want to take
And
advantage of that, but not.
it's already doing it. So
Yeah.
what we're gonna have to see from that one is gonna have to see a fake out long. If it doesn't fake out to the long side, I can't really trade it on the short side. I need some traders caught up in this. And if you see on the time and sales, we got 10,000 and 4,000 shares going through that at 822, right when it was going to that support, and it just completely dumped through it.
Man, down to 790s.
Yeah, the real key is that 10,000 shorter at 822, guys. So watch that price level also. If you see a whole bunch of shares cover at 822, this could swing back up, but that's what we're going to need to see it at least above that 822 to really start putting pressure on whoever went short there.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over the reason why I jump in trades. Same thing with Mitch. The strategy, kind of why we get into what we do. Also, if anybody's interested, somebody asked me what broker I'm using. I'm using TEFS, which is on the left side of the screen here. It's the partnering broker with TradeNet. So when you pay for a TradeNet package, this broker is the one that ultimately partners with you. And I'm going to go ahead and post the link. If anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, hey buddy, go ask your mom, okay? Your mom's
Hey
supposed to
guys,
help you
just
right
to
now,
answer a
bud.
question from Trading Monkey. Trading Monkey put up, I don't know why my order was rejected. I was buying 100 shares. He was trying to buy pre-market on SureTrader. SureTrader does give you access to pre-market after 8 a.m., but you're only getting 2 to 1 on your money on buying power, and that's why you probably were rejected. Also, they don't tell you a lot of times their stocks that are restricted until about 9 a.m. So the stock that you could be trading could be already on a 1-to-1, and that's why your trade was rejected. All right, guys, I'll be right back.
All right, sorry about that, guys. My son is here, or my son was here. But yeah, so no, like I was saying, if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, there's the link at the top that I just posted. We do make a small commission from it, but it's one of the ways that I keep the stream free and we keep all this content free. So if you have any other questions, you can reach out to them. Biggest flaw with TEFs and TradeNet is that a lot of stocks are not tradable. Easily the most frustrating thing about them. Most of the time it's lower volume stocks, like stocks under $2 that had previous low volume. But you do want to understand that, and I always try to be honest with people about it regardless. But yeah, if anybody's interested in reaching out to them with any questions or signing up, there's the link that I posted about 2 minutes ago. My son is home from school today, so my son is home today, so he might be making a making a cameo on the stream this morning. Let's hope he hangs out and my wife handles him, but we'll see. Not super confident that's gonna happen, Yeah, I could trade ETFs on TEFs, almost all of them. At least for I know I've traded UVXY, and what's the other one? UVXY and TVIX, TVIX. Cool. Hey, appreciate it, Hakun. Appreciate it, brother. Hey, you too trading, and sorry I can't pronounce your name, but appreciate the support. All right, so in a minute, I don't know what happened to Mitch. I think Mitch might still be here. But yeah, also appreciate everyone who signed up. We had a few new signups for our classes over the weekend, so really appreciate it. Classes start tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and if you can't make it to the first class, the software we're using is it allows you to do it on your phone as well. So even if you can't make it to your computer, you can still join us via your phone. But I'm also going to record the sessions and send them to anybody that can't make it. So appreciate all the signups today as well. Yeah, sorry, my son's having a breakdown right now. He's 4 years old, if anybody's interested in wondering what's going on. From what I can hear, he's saying, I want my iPad. And so, I don't know what's going on. But, yeah, I mean, he wants his iPad. He's like most kids today, he's probably a little bit addicted to technology. And he loves his iPad and his Wii. But, what's up, Corey? What's up, brother? I appreciate it, Waze. Now, lately, my son's big thing is toy shows. Like, my son likes. I don't know if you've ever seen the toy shows for kids on YouTube where it shows like kids opening up new toys, like opening up like unboxing toys. That's his latest. That's his latest favorite thing. He actually made me film his very own toy show this weekend. And pretend he was doing his own toy show where he plays with his toys. And so we did that this weekend, but that's been his thing. That's probably why he wants the iPad, is he wants to watch toy shows. All right. So let's look up some news right now. That's the one I gotta move on to. Okay, I can call you A. I like that. What's up, Eric? Good morning, brother. All right, we got LABD starting to spike up some. At least popping up on the scanners. Moving up a little bit. AZUL. PDD gapping down some. UUU has started to run up some. I seriously doubt some of these are tradable though. Yeah, definitely watching PBR. Alright, so first one I'm looking up today, and I just, usually I'm more focused on gapping down stocks, and I guess this one might qualify, but ALT with this big massive drop. So yeah, they're reporting a registered direct offering. That's what's going on with it. does this, man. My computer starts to just act weird.
What's weird?
Well, I try to look up the news and it freezes every time I try to do this one specific thing. I mean, it's a 4-year-old gaming Asus, and so it's to be expected. I mean, it's
What browser do you use?
Chrome.
There, that's your explanation right there.
Let me see.
It's not that Chrome's a bad browser.
Well, no, it's not even that I'm using. It's not even that I'm using a browser to look up the news. I'm using a trading platform. And so I'm not even using the browser on this computer right now. So I don't think it's the browser. I think it's just the computer.
Yeah, it could just be old. I know, like, my computer even has problems sometimes on Yahoo Finance. The coding in that page is all messed up.
All right, but yeah, we got some volume today. I'm surprised. I thought the volume would be a little bit low on. I thought the volume would be a little bit low just because I think a lot of people thought the market was closed today just because it's a holiday. I know my kids didn't have school, and so my kids had off of school, and so a lot
that's
of people.
surprising. I'm surprised. All the kids over here in Florida are crying because they're going to school.
Honestly, I wish my kids went to school today. I love them, but I mean, I'm just being honest. I love my kids, but man.
That's how it is. This one's weird, guys. I'm gonna call this one out, guys. This one made really, really weird moves, but you.
That's one of them.
You.
Yeah, it's not
Is
tradable.
it tradable?
No.
Nah.
Volume is
so
too
I would
low.
watch that. I'd watch that, guys, for really, really quick momentum. Not gonna put out what chat rooms is watching this, but there is a chat room watching this, so be careful with it, guys. Just want to put that out there.
Okay, so ALT. There we go. Finally, I got it working. Okay, so yeah, ALT direct public offering, 25 million is what's going on with it. Yeah, it announced it entered into a purchase agreement with several institutional investors for common units and pre-funded units for a total of 4,629,630 units with a registered direct offering. And so that's what's going on with ALT. We'll see what happens with this one. I got to move through these kind of quick. PBR. Next one I'm looking up, PBR is the top screen. So the price target was raised on PBR. It was raised to overweight from neutral by JP Morgan.
All I think is beer when you say PBR.
All right, so next one I'm looking up, ITUB. This one ran a little bit last week. Not really anything new that came out for this one. So yeah, a lot of these are just up on momentum from last week. Another one, CLDC.
Yeah, that one looks interesting. Just can't trade it.
Yeah.
But it's interesting stock for sure.
So basically, they're cooperating with another company to support restructuring or a sale. They're a non-lending corporation servicing micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. And so basically, they're cooperating with another company to support restructuring or a sale. Another one I'm looking up is BBD. You can see this one's gapping up from 8 to 885. And I don't really see too much moving for this one. There are too much reasons for this one to be moving. Yeah, not really anything out on this one. It's just up one momentum. PYX is the last one I'm going to look up. PYX, you can see it here. And still not really seeing much. A lot of these are just probably up on the sector being hot or just up on momentum in general. So yeah, that's all I really see right now. What was the other one I was looking up? IGC. So yeah, how about those fights this weekend? How about that? How about those, man? How about those were crazy, absolutely crazy. I don't know if anybody saw Habib beat up Connor, but man, that was crazy. And then what happened afterwards? So Mitch is in. Yeah, Habib took that. I don't know if anybody heard me predict what was going to happen last week, but I predicted Habib by second round Kimura, and I was almost right. Like, I was almost right. He almost tapped him out via Kimura in the second round. I knew Habib was going to beat up Connor. It was pretty obvious. You
He
know,
just wasn't ready, man. That's
dude.
just what it is. He wasn't ready.
I mean, I think Habib is a monster, dude. Habib's 27-0, never lost, Sambo champion. I think he's a horrible matchup for Connor, and I think you know, I
I
think
just think
Connor.
in the end, I think he picked a fight for himself that was a good money fight, but not a good matchup. Like you're saying, it's just not a good matchup for him. His thing is speed, and he went to a guy that has more speed than him.
I mean, Habib's striking isn't that good. I mean, he did clip Connor.
But hey, it sets up for always, like always. I just think he ruined it for a rematch for himself to make his money. He's not even gonna get paid now.
Right. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm happy for Habib. I thought Habib, I think Habib's a monster, man, and I think Habib's not joking when he
He
says
just
everything he
messed up.
says.
He won't be able to fight again.
No, he's gonna be able to fight again.
Nah, not at least in the United States. The commissions don't play, man. If you endanger fans,
I know, but think
commissions
about
don't
it.
play.
I know, but think about it like this: Connor in Bellator, Connor jumped the fence and slapped a ref, right? And that
Yeah.
was the same. That was the same commission, and they didn't do anything. And so I don't know, man. We'll see. I could see them doing it. I know for sure. Habib's teammates are going to be kicked out of the UFC, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, they're gonna get arrested.
Well, no, they already got arrested. Connor didn't press
Yeah.
charges.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just a show in the end, guys. Like always.
Right, for sure. All right. 30 seconds. Let's focus. We got this, bro.
All right, guys. One of the key things is we don't have an exact stock I'm watching out the open. I don't think. Do you see anything weakening out? I see MBEV is still too weak. We're just gonna kind of watch at the open, not overreact, guys. Today.
Yeah, ITUB is coming down some in pre-market. ITUB.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead and keep the streak going, guys. 6 days in. Let's do it.
There's the bell. All right. Oh wait, let me pull up the intraday scans. I forgot to do that. Sorry, guys.
All right, guys. High day momentum scanner has CLDC going off. NBEV just getting slammed, guys. No chance in this. I knew this was the stock to watch today, guys.
Man.
Already down $1.
We got PBR dropping some. Yeah, so Maria, so the schedule is on the site, but classes are going to start every night at every weekday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and so 6 p.m. Central time. But we'll send you. We are going to be sending you a welcoming email, Maria, and that'll kind of have all the info on it, on how to join and stuff like that. But appreciate the sign up. But yeah, look at IGC tanking here down to 486. Looks interesting here for sure. Down to 480 on IGC. We have CLDC spiking up pretty massively here, up to 255 now. We have PBR testing the VWAP a little bit, ALT rebounding some, AMRN coming down, EWZ coming down, ITUB bouncing a little bit. Yeah, I think ALT is one that if, they may start adding to their platform, hopefully. All right, so we got IGC spiking up here, maybe a washout long, breaking the high of the day on IGC. There's 510, so it looks like a washout long at this point. It's up to 503. We'll see if it holds support over 5 for IGC now. We got NBEV bouncing some. Same kind of thing here, maybe a little washout long there. Let's see, we got AMRN kind of consolidating, going sideways. BBD pulling back some, coming down. Need some more volume though for BBD.
All right.
But yeah, CLDC up to 264 has reached a high of 276.
Going off on momentum scanner.
All right, looking at PBR here. PBR is starting to drop. Gonna watch that one. BBD maybe pulling back to the VWAP some here. Gonna watch that one as well. Let's see what TLRY is doing. TLRY spiking with some of these other cannabis stocks. We got IGC up to 515s. Yeah, it was a crazy night of fights, Tiny. I told my best friend was watching them, and I told him if there was any fights that were worth the money, those were them. You know, I was happy with my purchase for those UFC fights, man. They were crazy. But look at BBD, Mitch. Look at BBD. Maybe a little washout long or a little fade there. NIO rebounding some. What's up, Frank? Nice work, brother. Nice work, man. Yeah, I'm looking at AMRN. I'm also looking at EWZ, although EWZ is an ETF, so I don't really trust it as much just because ETFs are a little bit tougher. These are at this point, they're looking at VWAP bounces, like IGC and some of these cannabis stocks. They're looking like VWAP bounces to a certain extent. And PBR is kind of pulling back maybe to the VWAP area. The only thing that scares me is that it's right around the high of the day. And so if it squeezes up another, 8 cents or so, it could easily start to run. Not seeing any of those big drops. Like I said last week, with the VWAP fade, I'm more so looking for a big, massive drop at the open and then a pullback to the VWAP. If it doesn't take a huge dip at the open, then I don't trust it as much. You know what I mean? And so I kind of just have to, be patient and wait for that setup. And if I don't see it, I'm not going to force anything. Yeah, ITUB breaking up to 1350. And maybe PBR is going to be a good fade. Who knows, though. It was a little bit too close to the high of the day, and this drop wasn't quite big enough for me to really want to get into it. But IGC is starting to test the pre-market high at this point at 527. And so that's going to be an interesting level to watch for that one. I'm starting to like PBR a little bit more for a fade. I like the fact that it has lots of resistance at this point above it. But yeah, there goes IGC cracking the pre-market high. It's up to 540s. Ears moving up some. Ears coming up on the scanners. IGC up to 545, 543s. Crazy move here.
I expected it, guys. Called it out pre-market for you guys.
Look at a PBR. That was a nice little fade. I mean, it didn't drop big enough for me to really want to get into it, but you can see the fade here on PBR. Kind of called that one out, just didn't jump into it. It just didn't follow my setup to a T. It needed to drop a little bit more, but I could see the fade going on. I think it might bounce a little bit here at 1550 as well, so not that much room for profits, and I would have had to take bigger sizing with it. But there goes PBR. But yeah, the only place to really enter this one would have been right here. But there goes PBR. Maybe that was the move, man. Would have only made about 13, 14 cents. EWZ starting to tank some. Yeah, there goes PBR. I mean, I see these setups and it makes me have a little bit of FOMO. I just got to control it. But it was a nice fade for sure. Good morning, Mihail. What's up, man? PBR is tradable, Mihail. At least it was. Let me double check. Yeah, it's tradable. That was the biggest one that I'm kind of bummed out I missed thus far. What's up, insurance? Good morning, man. Hey, nice work. 13-day winning streak. Congrats, brother. Congrats, man. Yeah, there goes PBR. Called it out. And like I said, the only thing that stopped me from getting into this one was, really was a few things. The first one is that this drop really wasn't as big as I would have wanted it to. Number two is that my risk level would have had to be the high of the day, which is going to give me a little bit more risk of getting squeezed up higher. And so, no stress moving forward. What's up, Sean? Hey, good morning from Texas, bro. Good morning. You said good morning from west coast of Canada. Nice, man. Nice. Yeah, my stepfather is from Ontario, Canada. He's from Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario. And really it's Batchewana, Canada, but I spent some time in Canada. I love Canada. Alright, so at this point I'm looking at PBR to get back up to that 1560 level for a short. See if we can squeeze up there. Gonna be patient though. I need to build a scanner for the VWAP fade just so I can catch some of the big down moves at the open. Let me look at one. We always talk about VKTX. Ugh. There's the big down move on VKTX. I don't mind a bounce back. I'm going to watch VKTX here. I think it may bounce off of 1520.
And BEV, definitely the stock of the day. Just a huge miss. Never got a chance.
Yeah.
Maybe that first bounce to 8, but I was expecting at least up there to 825s, then failing.
We'll see. I mean, if it keeps dropping and then the VWAP stays around 760, I like it a lot. But it would have to do exactly that for me to really want to jump into it. At this point, I'm looking at PBR some. PBR, if it squeezes up to that 1560 level, I like it a little bit more. I'm just going to watch it. And I'm looking at VKTX as well. Look at the drop on VKTX. So if VKTX gets up to the VWAP, I'll consider it as well.
And BEV now down to 690s from 850, guys. It's down almost 20% already.
Yeah, Ontario is cold, man. That's the biggest thing, man. Ontario, I wasn't used to it, I wasn't ready for it. But I love cold weather. I like cold weather more than hot weather, that's for sure. Alright, so looking at VKTX, PBR, and NBEV, see if we get some fades back to the VWAP. Those are the biggest ones that are dropping at this point. Alright, Callum, have a good day, brother. Looking at PYX underneath the VWAP now, PYX. Right there, the market's looking good. Cool. I'm liking the way the market's been looking lately, bro. Been looking really nice. A lot of volume, a lot of volatility. So AMTX popping up on the scanners. HPR, look at HPR. I don't know if anybody can trade it, but HPR is spiking up big there. And it is tradable. HPR is tradable for us. So look at HPR. Looking at PBR at this point, it's starting to get a little bit closer to that VWAP level, and I might take a small position here with 100 shares. So I just jumped in PBR with 100. Don't mind adding if it gets up to 1560. Setting 1565 is my risk. So we'll let it work. Obviously, preferably, I'd like for it to come right back down. But don't really mind it here. Look at NBEV. If NBEV continues to spike up, it may set up for the fade. All right, it's up to 56, 57. This is where I'm going to look to short. Add up here, up to 58. Got to be a little bit careful here, though. It's up to 59s, 60s. Like I said, got to give it a little bit of tight of a leash here. See if it comes back down. There's 54s. Probably should have added at that top, but gonna give it a little bit of time. Yeah, I'm using Thinkorswim for charting, Sean. But yeah, NPBR short. Gonna look for that crack back under the $half level. The 53s, 54s. Gonna try to let this one go to my levels here. Profit target is at 33s at least.
All right, guys, looking at AMRN for a possible long here, guys. AMRN, possible long, looking at 1985s. I just missed it as it broke out, but I'm looking for a pullback here to 85s. Can go ahead and risk off the 74, 75. Looking for a long on this to get over 20s. I might miss it. It might break out through 20s right here. I'm going to keep my order where it is. 85s, guy. 85s off 75s here.
So basically my strategy is the VWAP fade. I look to get in right around the VWAP, which I got in a little bit early. The VWAP's around here. And then I use the low of the day as my price target, the next support level as my risk. And so I got in. It's a VWAP fade is the strategy I'm using. And so we'll see. I'll give it a little bit of time. Want to see it get rejected at the VWAP and head back down. I don't want to see it bear flag some. And so we're going to give it some time. But small sizing, tight risk for the most part. Want to see it crack under the $half at this point.
I missed by 3 cents getting filled there. I would have had this breakout through 20, guys. It pulled back to 88. I had the order out at 85.
But yeah, so basically I try to get in around the VWAP here and set this area as my target for it to pull back with a bear flag with a rejection at the VWAP is basically the strategy. I have a video on it. I'll post the video in a second, just so you can see exactly kind of what I look for with these setups. There's 51s, 40s. Looking for it to get rejected, come back down here.
AMRN looking strong there, guys. Kind of mad I missed that one. Missed it by a cent or two. Would be able to be selling here on this 2020 push. Definitely could have had that long, guys. Just missed. Looks like a good one too. Looks like it's really getting some volume there. And if it breaks out through the daily high, which is 2050, this stock will really start rocketing.
I'm looking for PBR to keep getting rejected at this $0.50.
I'm looking right now at ITUB. ITUB over 1355s on the long side. And if it breaks down here, it could be a short.
PBR is kind of battling the $0.50 here.
All right. I have a starter on ITUB. I'm looking to add here up by VWAP.
ITB for a short?
Yeah.
Look at VKTX, man. That thing just tanked today. Back down to 52s, 51s. We'll see if it can crack the $0.50 level. That's the big level it's battling right now. 50s. See if we get another move down here. Yeah, VKTX, that thing just tanked today.
All right, guys. I want a little bounce here to 1350s to add to my position on ITUB.
Here's 49s on PBR, 48s. See if we get a big drop here. It's battling the $0.50. Keeps kind of going back and forth.
$10,000 shares there at 1342 there, going through on the bid side there. All right, looking for this bounce here, guys. Probably add 200 shares here, get up to 300 or 400 shares here. I'm sitting in the green a couple cents, looking to add and get a better position here.
Yeah, me too with PBR. Not looking for, don't really want to see a bounce, but letting it work some. 46, 44s, 45s. Not looking too bad. Gonna let it work. Look for it to come back down to the lows here. Can comfortably set around a break-even trade for this one. There's 44s. Struggling with this support level here at 44. dog's angry, bro.
Hey. Stop it.
$43s. Let's see if we get a bigger wash here. Down to $43s.
I would like to see the bid just get slammed here and just get out of here. But I think there should be a bounce before this stock wants to keep going down today. High day momentum scanner going off. FNJN. Seen that stock before. And GLG. Penny stock trying to do that $1 magnet.
Look at NBEV is right around the VWAP.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with this trade though here. It doesn't look bad though.
All right, here's a little bit of a bounce. Realistically, I'd like to see the $0.50 hold.
Gotta be careful here.
If you listen closely, he's saying add. All right, so here's the $0.50 test. Like I said, I want to see this area hold. If not, I can jump out for a break-even trade. Also, kind of looking at NBEV here. It's right around the VWAP. I want to see it get rejected here, but we'll give it that time.
I have an order to add at 1350. After rejected there at the VWAP, I'm looking for it to bounce up a little bit, fill me, and then come right back down. If it just slams through here, guys, I'll just hold that 100 shares that I got a starter in. The only reason I got only 100 shares short there is that I knew my entry should have been 1350, and I'm not going to go ahead and go full sizing there if I know that's not where my entry should be. So I was trying to size into 1348s, 1349s, so that I could have the right entry for this stock.
Hey, appreciate the sub, Tom, and Game. Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Welcome. But yeah, at this point, just holding a small share size on PBR. If I did anything wrong with this trade, I think I probably should have added once it got a little bit higher to the VWAP and then taken profits once it got this low. But no stress in this one. I mean, if it squeezes up, I can get out for break even.
There you go, getting slammed there at 1340s there, guys. Let's see if we get a real good move here. A lot of volume going through there on ITUB.
Hey, appreciate the subs, Tricks, and Fred. Welcome. Appreciate it. All right, there we go. There's the little bit better drop here. The big level for PBR at this point to break is this level down here at 42s. And so target is, like I said, at 32s. And so going to keep looking for a drop.
All right, there's a starter move there. That's starting to get there. We're getting to these 36s here. Could take some profit here. This is the first support, but since I only have 100 shares, guys, I'm moving to the second support here, guys. It's going to be 1320. 1320 will be my first target here.
There's a lot of shares that went through there on the bottom, though. I will let you know that, guys. What I try to pay attention to, guys, is I don't like when shares get through there on the bottoms, especially on green candles, because it can show a potential spike, big spike, because it's a lot of volume versus little volume going down.
Yeah, Mitch is trading ITUB. Where's your entry on ITUB?
It's 1346. Tried to add there at 1350. Still haven't gotten an ad.
Yeah, I don't mind that entry. I think it looks good. Gotta watch PBR here. I think PBR, if it cracks the $0.50 and breaks some of this, I gotta be careful. And it's having some upward momentum. It does look like a wedge. Somebody mentioned that. And so I gotta keep an eye on that. I'm gonna look to get out for break even if it squeezes up. I got out. I saw it crack $0.50. Got out a little bit early, but we'll see if it ends up getting rejected here or not. So yeah, not bad. Break even trade. I'll take it. Maybe should have used a little bit larger sizing. I just don't want to see it get squeezed up here. Once I saw 51 flash on the level 2, I got out. But are you sharing your screen, Mitch?
Yeah, just gotta share it. Give me a second.
Okay.
There you go. You should be able to see it now.
There we go.
All right, guys. Got in there at 46s, guys. Could take some profit here and just pay myself $10, but that's not what I was looking for in this game. It's kind of essentially a little bit. It's still 2-1 because I risked about $5 when I got into this trade, but it's not going to satisfy me. So what I'm trying to do is mainly add shares at a good price and see this come down to this 1320, guys. This is the mark that I'm trying to get to, guys. The next support we got there down to 1318s, and I'm trying to get 1320s right before it.
Yeah, I might have gotten out a little bit early on PBR. Once it cracked the $0.50 again, and it's the second test, and it actually cracked, I just don't trust it as much. I could have held and let it test the VWAP again, but you know, I'm just looking to. I was looking to get out for break even if it did squeeze up. I didn't want it to turn red on me, and so no stress. You know, PBR still pushing up some, so I could see it. I could see. I think my reasoning was. I think my reasoning was right for that one, at least, for sure. The only mistake I think I made was not using a little bit larger sizing. Let me see. I mean, I tell people about my strategy, you know.
All right, seeing it move here a little bit. Want to get up there to those 48s, 49s. Then I can probably look for an entry there. Got a total risk is 54, 55 right now.
Yeah, there goes PBR. See, this is exactly why I decided to get out of it. Once it started testing that $0.50, you know, it actually not only did it test the $0.50, but once it actually broke the $0.50 on the ask, once it got up to 15.51 is exactly where I exited it. And I hope everybody kind of understands that logic. Now, at this point, it could fade off the VWAP here using this level up here at 1565 as risk. And it could fade back down. But at that point, the trend was broken. And so that's why I ultimately got out. I'm glad I got out. Break even trade. I'll take it. I look at EWZ. EWZ's been fading off the VWAP. And ITUB is right back up to around that VWAP level. NBEV is around the VWAP as well. But it's over the $0.50. I know I've been looking at NBEV as well. Cool. It's hovering right around the VWAP. You know, and so It doesn't look too bad here, and the good thing about NBEV is that the risk is super defined at about 770. The risk is really defined at around 765, 770, and so I always like whenever the risk is super defined, and in this case on NBEV it was. You're looking at ITUB. What's your risk level in it, Mitch?
55.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
My ad here.
It sounds like a German Shepherd insurance. What kind of dog you got, Mitch?
I got a lab slash border collie. You also got some Aussie in him.
Okay.
He's like a black lab, a small lab, kind of, if you had that idea.
Yeah, I love labs, man. I had a lot of chocolate labs growing up.
Okay, so I'm going to expect it to bounce here, guys, and try 50s. If it tries 50s here and fails, that's when I'm going to go ahead and hit the ad. If it gets above 50s, then I'll just watch for my 100 shares and protect my 100 shares. Let it bounce here. Attempt to get above these.
And yeah, I got out for a break-even trade, and I'm really happy with that. Like last week's trading week was not too bad. I had one break-even day, 3 profitable days, and then one tiny loss of $6. And so my loss was tiny. I had a break-even day and then 3 green days, and so it was a good week last week. At this point, it's just about scaling up my sizing, which is the biggest thing I need to work on. I'm happy with the PBR trade. I got out right before that squeeze up to the VWAP, which is really what I was worried about, and so I'll take that. Mitch is doing much better than I have been, though, lately. Mitch is on what? If this ends up being a profitable day, which even if it doesn't, bro, what, if you had like 6 days in a row?
Yeah, it'll be 7.
7. Okay.
I'm working. I already got 6, and I've been 7 out of 8 trades of my last trades have been profitable trades.
Yeah, look at MBEV. Cool. I know I was thinking about you when I saw that move down, man. It looked like a good little fade. I like the fact that it had that very obvious risk level of like 70 for NBEV, and it faded beautifully off of the 57 mark. So it looked good, man. I'll be right back, brother. Hold it down.
Yep. All right, guys. I'm watching on ITUB. It kind of rejected those 1350s, but then it went up there and then stayed at 1350. I didn't really like that, so I haven't slammed the ad yet. And just hanging around way too much there. I want to see it start making its way back down and then bounce up a little bit. All right, gonna put an order out here for 1348. 1348, guys. Looking for a little bounce to get filled here and add to mine. I think maybe I should have hit that ad in the 49s, 50s, but it just was way too close there to the momentum to getting to a squeeze out there. So I wanted to give it another second, maybe a second too much, but now I'm just looking for a bounce to 46, 47s. My order is sitting there at 48. If I did miss it, so be it, and I kind of will learn from this and just grow from it. That's all we can do sometimes. Yep. On ads, you just got to be what I always say is that you got to take risk when it's working for you. And for a second there at 1350, it wasn't, and that's why I didn't click on it. It just wasn't working for me at that one point. There's way too much volume that added it there at 1350, so that's why I didn't slam it. If it would have just been a quick reject, I probably would have grabbed onto it right there. But we're still looking good there, guys. Sitting there 100 shares short there at 1346. If this does get below 1330s, we can get moved to 1320s, and that would be more than enough profit for this trade.
Yeah, PBR may affect me out a little bit, but at the same time, I'm not really upset that I got out of it just because the potential for it to get squeezed up was a little bit too high, and I don't know if I would have held it past where it went up here, you know.
All right, guys, there's some confirmation trades getting in put there. 1343s, 4,700 shares, 1343s, 7,500, 4,500, 2,900.
It's looking good for you, man. If anybody's interested, if anybody's curious about what broker we're using, so Mitch and I are both using TEFS, which is TradeNet's partnering broker. And so if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, I'll post the link in the chat. Or if you need to just reach out to them and ask them more questions about it, I'll put their link in the chat. We do make a small commission, but it's one of the ways I keep the stream free. And so if you're interested in hearing more about TEFS or TradeNet, you can go through that link and help support the channel. But yeah, biggest flaw is some stocks are not tradable. But as you can see, Mitch and I usually can find a few decent stocks to trade every day. And I've been using them for about a year now. And they're definitely one of my more favored brokers. They're ones I like the most. Look at EWZ. EWZ faded off the VWAP 3 times with a triple top at around 39.45.
Look at PBR.
I know, man. Don't even tell me. Like I said, it stopped me out. But hey, brother, no stress. I got out for a break-even trade.
What was your entry?
A little bit too early, and I know that's one thing you're probably going to yell at me about, but you're right.
I'll review it.
Yeah,
I'll
for
let
sure.
You know.
So my entry, no, I'll tell you, my entry was 52.
52.
Yeah.
All right. What was your risk?
My risk was 65.
Okay. Did you hold it to 65?
No, I got out at about 52 for break even. Just because it dropped, but that was the problem, and that's what I did wrong.
That's the problem. That right there. When we always get to that point where we just stop, there's the break of the information there, and that's right there where it broke your information. You saw your trade you didn't know which way it was headed,
right?
So you got out of the trade.
Exactly.
So that's what you got to work on right there. You kind of knew you had a good spot. It was in between. It was going up and down. You seen it go in the red. You seen it go in the green. And you weren't confident enough with the strategy to stay on it.
Exactly.
And you just got to be confident enough because you were at a decent entry. It wasn't bad.
Right. It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't a bad risk.
Right, for sure. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Like, people get onto us. They're like, oh, y'all can't teach. And it's like, look, like, we can. Because if you think about it, Mitch has had, 7 green days in a row if this one turns out to be profitable. Last week was a profitable week. Out of the last 10 weeks, I've had
about 386 net last week.
Yeah, and out of the last 10 weeks, I've only had 2, maybe 3 losing weeks. And this is all documented and streamed live, and so we can't hide anything. And so regardless of what share size we're using, regardless of whether we have losing days sometimes, which losing days are going to happen, Mitch and I know what we're talking about with regard to strategies and setups, and we're not trying to act like experts or gurus. And so if you're looking for an expert or a guru, we're not the ones, but we're just trying to expedite the learning process and show people how to work towards being profitable. And I think, we definitely have kind of shown that you can be profitable day trading. And I don't really think anybody else is doing what we're doing. Like, the difference is like we're streaming it live on stream on YouTube. Like, we can't hide anything. People can see our winners and our losers. And so when we go on win streaks like we've been doing, it's actually win streaks. It's not fake. It's not, we can't hide it. People can see us win or lose. And so that's what I'm super pumped about. I'm super excited. I got a few tweaks I have to work on for sure. Biggest thing is I have to learn to hold to my levels a little bit longer. But I'm getting a little bit better at it, and I'm just confident in my setup. I back tested this setup, and that's another thing is back testing. Back testing is the most important thing, at least in my opinion, on building a niche. When you're trying to find your niche, the basic key to it is just back testing. Like, if you back test the setup over like a decent sample size, like a year-long sample size, you actually know if it's a profitable strategy. You actually know if it has an edge or not. Instead of kind of following somebody, you see online, back test it yourself. Find out if it has an edge or not. Because if you don't back test it, you're just flipping a coin. and that's never a good thing. You want to make sure the setup works, and that's just what I believe. I feel like you have to back test your setups. That's what the algo traders are doing. That's what the algorithmic traders do, and there's a reason they do that. It's because it actually shows you whether it's a profitable strategy or not. In order for it to work, though, I have to hold it to my levels, which is what I'm working on at this point. But definitely been doing pretty well in the last 6 months or so. In the last 3 months, I've been doing really, really well. Mitch has been doing much better than I have too.
It's all good. It's just a matter of it's a cycle.
So Bo Sterling says, what do you mean by year-long sample size? So when I back test a setup, Bo, I go back and I look at the last year of data on charts. I look back at the last year of that stock and what it did. I look at the open every day, which is where my, kind of where my profit targets are, usually around the open. Within the first 30 minutes to an hour after the open is usually when I trade. And so I go back and I look through, I look at the chart every day for that stock for a year. For instance, I go back to, if I was going to start back testing today, I'd go back to October 8th, 2017 and work my way to present day. And I mark down how many times my pattern and setup worked and how many times it didn't work, as well as the conditions that made my setup and strategy work more often. Like if this happens and this happens, then my setup works much more, if that makes sense. And so I back tested for last year. And when I back tested the VWAP fade over the past year, and this was about 2 months ago that I back tested it, over the past year, so all the way back to 2017, the VWAP fade with my preferable conditions had a 73% accuracy rate. And it's not a coincidence that my trading lately has been hovering right around 70%, 71%. So right around the same percentage the VWAP fade worked in back testing, that's where my trading's at. And I only trade the VWAP fade. And so it's not a coincidence. And for that reason, you got to be able to figure out if it has an edge or not. And I hope that makes sense, Yeah. So what I do, Bo, is I go back, I think I said stock. I don't mean stock. I meant for that pattern. So what I do is, luckily for me, I document my watch list each morning. And so I just go back to a year previously and I look at my watch list for every market day. And then I look to see the strategy in that watch list. And so, I look at the watch list from a year ago and I look at how many times the VWAP fade worked and how many times it didn't work. And like I said, with the conditions that made it more favorable, if that makes sense. No, I look at the 1 minute and 5 minute. Why not? It only makes sense. It only makes sense to test the setups and test the strategies. It only makes sense to find out if they're actually going to work or not. You know what I mean? And so you got to figure out if it's actually going to work.
Why not? How do we develop our watch list? Well, you can go ahead and actually our first class tonight is actually going to be on that specific subject. I think it's one of the key things to trading is really getting to the right stocks, because if you're at the right stocks, you can watch the right stocks and you won't be so overwhelmed when the movement comes, versus as you don't know what stocks to watch and then you're just moving to the top movers, don't really know the news, don't know the important levels of the stock, and that's really what's going to make you.
Yeah, with my watch list, it's all about volume. Like it's all about overextension and volume. Like really, when I build a watch list, I just look at the stocks everybody else is watching. Like I just look at stocks that are, for my specific setup, I look for stocks that are gapping up over 10%. And if they're not gapping up over 10%, like for some examples, NBEV, like even if they're break even in pre-market and after hours, as long as the volume is high and they're actually moving some, I'll watch them, Exactly, Bo. I'm back testing the pattern across multiple different stocks. Basically, all the stocks on my watch list, I look to see if they worked. You know what I mean? So, like for the VWAP fade, if it pulls back to the VWAP and then follows through on the way back down, so like pulls back to the VWAP and then drops back down to the low of the day, I consider that a success. But if it pulls back to the VWAP and then gets squeezed up and runs up to the high of the day, I consider that a failure in the strategy. And so I just look to see how many times it works, how many times it doesn't work. You know what I mean? And then I just mark it down. I tally it up. And you know, at the end, it gives me a percentage of time of how much it's worked, you know?
All right, guys. ITUV looking good here, guys. I might add if it bounces here to 40, guys. If it bounces up here to 40, I might add here, guys, and then bring my risk down to break even at 43. I think it's going to bounce right here. Look at that strong bounce there, guys. Got to be careful with this stock here.
Yeah, that's a big squeeze.
A lot of hidden volume that went in there. So that's why I got to be careful, guys. A lot of hidden volume there, guys. It's turning around. Should not come back up here. If I do take an ad, it'll be at 46, 47, risking off of 13.50 now.
And, you know, the biggest thing is, like, losing days are going to happen, but Mitch and I are profitable more days than we're losing. And so, and especially for Mitch, his winners are substantially larger than his losses, you know. There you go. I like the drop. We'll see if it keeps going back down. But, yeah, it might be. I mean, it's faded off the VWAP twice already, especially off of the $0.50. And so that's where, I think you said, that's where you're going to set your risk. It makes sense.
Yep.
You're right. YouTube streaming is not fake. Yeah, I mean, we just try to put everything out there. Like, I think a lot of people upload their trades. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people upload their trades, but it's hard to tell whether they're actually profitable or not, just because, you know, if I trade five times in a day and I have 4 losing trades but 1 winning trade, I could just upload the winning trade and you know, make it seem like I'm such a profitable trader. And so I think, you know, I think that's what a lot of people are doing, and that's why we just try to be transparent with everything. We just try to let people actually see what it's like, you know. We can't hide anything here. Like, we're streaming. You watch us if we win and lose, you know. And so it's one of the things where it's like, if we're having a green streak like Mitch is having right now, and like I had in the last few months, you know, we're actually having those win streaks. You know, we can't hide it, because no matter what, people are going to see it. You know, people are going to see if we lose. People are going to see if we win, you know. And they can follow my account balance and everything. And so we just try to be honest with people. I think that's the big thing. How long does it take you to back test a stock? It takes a while, honestly. It depends on how much free time I have. I usually try to do it on the weekends, but for the VWAP fade, it took me a few weeks. You know, but it was worth it in the end, because I mean, now I actually know that it has an edge, and I know what conditions I want it to follow for that edge to be there. You know what I mean?
Get up there. Yeah, your PBR looked good at that bounce there at 45.
Yeah.
It just kind of did that last little fake out for you.
Yeah, and I just got caught in the fake out. And that's, you know, like I said, I'm not trying to act like an expert or anything. I understand my flaws in trading. And trading is just constant evolving. You constantly got to evolve into a better trader, and that's just what I'm working on doing. And, you know, if you look at my trades from a year or two ago, my trades were terrible. And, you know, I've actually achieved consistency, which is the big thing. And there's some tweaks I definitely need to do with my trading, but I'm just excited for my future in trading. You know, it's something that I've been doing for years now, and it's cool to finally be consistently profitable, and it's also cool to be able to do that live, so where people can actually watch it. You know, and they can see the journey, because there's always speculation whether day trading in and of itself can be a profitable endeavor or not. And I think you and I kind of show that you can be a profitable day trader. You know what I mean? Like, we're letting you watch us live, and it's possible. You know, it just takes time, and it takes studying.
Yep, without a doubt, brother.
Can you backtest Bollinger Bands? I'm sure you can. I'm not as familiar with Bollinger Bands, honestly, Maria, but I'm sure you can. There's probably a way to do it. It's just about identifying the setup. Like, if something coincides with the Bollinger Bands, just identify it and look back on the charts. Abby, class today is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So 6 p.m. Central Time.
Here comes all that weight for ITUB. There it goes in. Let's see if we can get this push really.
There you go. I just want to see you keep the green streak going, man. This will be 7 days in a row. No losing trades.
I had one.
Okay, one. Oh,
I'll be honest. It was one small $20 loss on Friday.
Okay.
But I still was able to make $49 on Friday.
Right. So, rephrase. No losing days.
Yeah, 7 out of 8 is not too bad.
Right.
I won't complain.
Right, for sure.
No complaints.
And if you guys really want to see how important back testing is, for example, like if I pull this up and pull these pictures up, you can see before I started back testing and after I started back testing here. And this is a little bit older graph. I'm sure I'm down a little bit from this. But if you look at this, before I started back testing, after I started back testing, you know, and you could see just the momentum shift in my trading, like all the way up before, after. And so you can see, at least you can see how much I value back testing and trading, just because I think it's what the algorithmic traders do, and they do it for a reason, you know. And you can see the momentum shift in my trading from when before I back tested it, it was just kind of like a coin flip. I was a break even or losing trader, and then after I started back testing and following those setups that I back tested, you can see my graph. And so I'm really proud of that graph. Like I said, it's a little bit old, but I can update it. Yeah, IGC is tradable. Mike. And one thing Mitch does really well, he does much better than I do. And so I'll probably learn a little bit from Mitch teaching in the classes as well. But one thing Mitch does really, really ridiculously well is he holds his trades to his levels. Like he plans out his exits and entries before he gets in the trade, and he actually holds it to those levels. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's just experience, guys. One of the things I learned is that when I didn't follow that, I always lost in the long run. I have to go ahead and follow my plan. If my plan doesn't work out, then so be it. It's a game of probability. It's not a game of being perfect.
Right. You're never going to be perfect in trading.
Yeah, never, never. It's like right now, I could close this trade and be green, but for what?
Right. I mean, it's
so that I could lose the next trade and then this be in the red also.
Right.
That's what you don't want to do.
Exactly.
If you're gonna be a trader, sounds bad, but you gotta have some Spanish cojones. You gotta hold to your instincts, hold to your strategy, set your plan, and follow it to a key.
Yep.
All right, guys, gonna see this bounce here, guys. Just don't want it to get bounced over 45 now, guys. Break even on the rest, guys. Break even on the rest. It shouldn't make another high. The last high was 45, guys. Last high was 45.
Right, it's forming a channel at this point, if you see it.
Exactly. It's what we call consolidation. It's consolidating at a price, and people are getting bigger and bigger positions, moving their average better and better as the price approaches a near what we call breakdown point. The breakdown point now would be below this 1333. If it gets down below that, we'll look for big sizing to join in at 1333 or 32 and to knock it down. One of the key things I'm proud of that I've done on this trade is not that I got the perfect re-add because I missed that, but I didn't go and chase it and just start adding somewhere down here thinking it was going to break down and then just completely mess up your trade for yourself. That's one of the key things you got to do. You got to be very patient, especially if you want to add on breakdowns or breakouts. You need to have confirmation, and it needs to be big confirmation. I see a lot of traders do this on the long side. they see a breakout, and as soon as they break out, they click the hot button. This is gonna be okay for you certain times, but a lot of the times it's gonna cost you because what you're doing is you're reacting to the move versus as reacting to the chart and actually seeing the balance levels of where you should be getting in. All right, guys, it's now going to push on those 33. All I need to do is see big sizing come in there and smack it down there, guys. There's those 34s. Here comes 33, guys.
Let's see it crack
And
under there.
smack down. Let's see the big sizing get in here on the time and sales. That will confirm our trade, guys.
Right, this is the big level here. This is the kind of the make or break it point. The line in the sand, some people call it with trading. This is kind of the line in the sand for.
Boom.
There's 33s.
Here comes the volume. Look for a big volume confirmation. If no big volume comes in, look for this to bounce. That's the way I look at it, guys, and I'm telling you, that's the way you have to do it. You're looking for big traders to join in here. You're not looking for the small traders to join in here. You're looking for someone to smack it down here, guys. All right, guys, he's going to come those levels to get tested.
How many shares? Okay,
I still haven't seen. Yeah, it's small. I couldn't get in bigger. I didn't get a chance to.
There's 33s.
So missed some chances up here when it was up there, but
appreciate the sub, Mel.
Just need a big share size in there. I got
Ernesto.
some a little bit there, 1,200, 1,600, but that's not enough. Need that confirmation there.
Appreciate the sub, Igloo, Ernesto, John,
31s.
Mel. This is the make or break point. This is the line in the sand. Like Mitch says, we want to see volume come in here, and we want to see volume hold it down. If volume doesn't come in, like Mitch said, it's gonna bounce. And so this is the line in the sand.
Yep. There still hasn't been that big order to really bring this thing down. It's holding, and if you see the ask is getting filled up on the level 2, there's there's more volume on the ask now than the bid. Those are shorters putting out orders that if it bounces, I'll get filled some more, I'll get filled some more.
Here we go, 30s.
All right, this is when I go ahead and I put out my order for profit at 22. I'm going to put it out right now as this approaches this level here, guys. If I do get just bought out, I'll take it. It's a good trade for me. All right, now seen it move to it, so hit the cancel button. Let it keep going to it, and as it approaches it, hit the button. We got 2,400 shares to go through there at 32. Really not the craziest volume, so I'm hanging around in this stock, trying to see if it's gonna get that push or not. Some volume going through there on the ask. Let's see it. Here's the 30s. Who wants to smack down this thing? There's 29s. There you go. Gonna start getting this momentum move now. There it goes. 28s.
29s. Just remember, whenever you click the exit button, your share size is currently at 200, and so if you're not careful, you're gonna get out.
I have this order up here. I have another order screen. Yeah, don't worry, guys. This was my order to add. My order screen at the top is profit. It's one of the key things I like to do. All right, that turning around, I don't like it there, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and take 50 shares here at 32. All right, guys, this is gonna pay myself. It hung around way too much, got volume there on the wrong side of this trade, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make sure that I at least take out $7 here. But now I have to wait for a support breakdown of the next support. So it has to go to 1320, and then I need to see a bounce and it hold a resistance that was a prior support. So that would be here at 34, guys. I would need this to break down here and then hold 34s on a bounce up. Saw way too much share size. Just not. I always look for that confirmation, and that's the share size that I want to see, guys.
Right. But
I was looking for this. Look right here. You see this 26,000 shares that just went through there? That's what I've been looking for the whole time. I haven't seen one of those trades go in until right now. That's what I mean by confirmation. It didn't bounce. I maybe should have held another second, but there was volume that came in on the ad side at this 1330, 6,200 shares, then 3,000, 2,000, 2,000. It got uncomfortable here. But now that I've seen that 26,000 shares there go through there, now the uncomfortableness just takes off. There you go. There's the move.
there it is.
Why did we get this move, guys?
Volume.
It's not even the chart. It's that seller right there. He made this happen, guys.
Right.
That's what I want you guys to understand there. It's not about why do stocks move. Move because traders,
Right.
big traders, not small boys, big
Right.
boys.
Yeah, so what Mitch does on his time and sales is that Mitch puts up Mitch filters his time and sales to only show the biggest orders in the market for that stock. So he kind of ignores all the tiny insignificant orders on his time and sales and puts it to where he can only see the big orders on this bottom time and sales right here. And so that way he knows when a big order's coming in, and it's going to give his stock and his strategy more momentum to go in his direction. And that's what you see here, is that he's having that extra momentum to go in his direction. Yeah, for sure, insurance. I think Mitch is ready, man. I think both Mitch and I are both ready. I think the biggest thing that we both have to do is scale up, and I think I definitely have some more work I have to do on that end. But I definitely think it's time. Yeah, 100%. I think Mitch is ready too. I think both Mitch and I are ready. I have a little bit more tweaks. I think Mitch is definitely a better trader than I am. At least he has more recently. But I definitely think both of us are ready for that move. And that's why I think it's bizarre when people criticize the classes that we offer. You know what I mean? Like, we're not even trying to act like experts, but we know what it takes to kind of work towards building a niche, building a strategy, and working towards that consistency.
This is where, guys, in this level over here, on this next little tiny push, that's where I would be taking some profit if I didn't take it up there, guys. The real key, like we talked about, was confirmation. But now, as this trade has been going down, you've been seeing this share size just kind of fill in there. 1326, about like 10,000 shares went through there. And what that is necessarily, guys, is that guys starting to cover their big share position from up here.
Right, for sure. Yeah,
Why
they got
they're
a 10,000.
Because it's reaching that spot, guys. We call it the support. The support creates exactly what it says, a support to go ahead and bounce off of here, guys.
And like we said earlier, that's the line in the sand, that bottom blue line. Like, that's the line in the sand that it had to break to follow along with the setup. And it broke it really well, and that's when you see this big down move here.
This is where I would be taking that. Remember I said 22s, guys? Right there, I would have that order out. And if I see buying happen up on the level 2, like right there, I might just take 23s. 23 sounds better there than 22s just because you're seeing all the green flowing through there.
Right, 100%.
So now, guys, remember, like I said, guys, I wasn't going to get my profit at 22 because now I'm looking for it to bounce and hold this 34 as a resistance. And then I think it can make a move to 13 so that I can get the same kind of profit that I was looking for in the beginning of this trade, guys.
Right.
My trade idea has adjusted on the profit actual number, but it has not adjusted in the amount that I need in the gain.
Young, I'm sure Thinkorswim does, and yeah, Silver, I'm definitely a little emotional sometimes, man. And I can admit it. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm like an expert or anything like that. There's for sure lots of stuff I need to work on, 100%. And no, I understand it, for sure. And so Mitch has a little bit longer trading experience than me. But what Mitch does really well is Mitch holds it to his levels much better than I do. Like Silver says, a lot of times I get emotional and get kind of scared out of the trade, where it's like Mitch is just holding it to his levels no matter what. Even if it turns into a losing trade, he's following his plan, which is one of the things that I definitely should work on and need to work on a little bit more. But it's tough, you know what I mean? It is tough, especially when you're streaming live. You know what I mean? When you're putting your trades out there, it's tough to let a winning trade turn into a losing trade in front of people. You know what I mean?
100%, 100%. It's just part of the game. It's hard for me just as much as it is hard for anybody else, guys. One of the key things that I like to do is if I feel myself get emotional, just try to take away thinking and just be more reactionary. Reactionary is way better. Your thinking should be all prior your entry. Once you enter that once you hit that button, your plan should be already established and thinking should go away.
Right.
And now it's kind of like sports. Like we can think about how to best plan for a team or best strategize for a team, but once that ball is hiked or once that ball is thrown, you actually got to go ahead and do the thing. And if you get stuck in your head, you won't be able to use your execution.
Right, 100%.
So you can't be stuck in your head. You got to be there and ready and saying that this is what I'm going to do, and that's exactly it.
Right.
From that point on, you will not deter.
Exactly. And yeah, I mean, like I said, Google Advisor, I do really well with identifying the setups.
Stock that looks good, guys, right now, guys, I'm looking at it, is AOBC.
AOBC was a former runner. But no, what I do well with Google is that I do well with identifying and back testing the setups. And Mitch does really well with managing the trade. He's much better than me at managing the trade. And that's kind of the biggest thing I need to work on for sure. But no stress. I mean, I understand it for sure. The good thing is that with our classes, it's not just me. It's Mitch there as well. So we're both going to be doing it.
Yeah, 100%. And at the end of the day, guys, like we talk about, one of the key things you want to know is what you do wrong, not necessarily how to be perfect. Because if I show you guys how to be perfect, no one will learn.
Right.
And that's what I really find from gurus is that they show you how to do really, really great trades. And the truth of the matter is that majority of us can't execute these trades.
Right.
Not because it can't happen, but because the emotions will be way too big for us to actually hold to the trade.
Right, 100%. But I also think that even if you don't agree with how I trade, and even if you think I got out too early, the biggest thing is that we could actually learn from my losses. We can learn from my mistakes, and that's the big thing. Because while I might not manage the trade perfectly, I can still identify what I did wrong in those trades. And I think that's one of the big things as well, is learning from your losses. And that's what ultimately all trading is learning from your losses. You never really remember your big gains, but you almost always remember your losses. And so it's just about tweaking your setups and learning from those losses. And that's what I'm ultimately trying to do at this point.
100%, brother.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more of a scalper, I think, Young. That's the thing is like I scalp trades a lot more than Mitch does. Mitch holds them much longer than I do, and so we also have a little bit of a different style. You know, like I said, I'm more of a scalper, And Mitch is more of a Mitch actually holds it a while, which obviously gets more profit from that as well, you know. And I think Mitch is like, I could be honest, I think Mitch's strategy, Mitch's way of managing the trade, we both use the same strategy, but I think Mitch's way of managing the trade is better than mine for sure, 100%.
It's just pressure. It's just a change of pressure, guys. One of the key things is you, like I said, guys, know your entry, know your profit, stick to your plans, whether they be right or wrong. Sometimes you got to stick to the wrong plan so that you can understand that, hey, maybe I got to adjust my plan here. And it's my actual planning that's wrong.
Right, exactly.
And if your planning is wrong, then that's just your whole strategy, and you can really start focusing and figuring out how to get a better strategy. But what's worse is you follow your plan, you follow your strategy, and then you stop out a little short, or you take profits too quick, and then you see everything else go towards the way that your strategy is, towards the way your plan was. And so those are the kind of things that just really frustrate you as a trader.
Right, exactly. And that's the biggest thing I need to work on. Like at this point, I need to learn to hold my trades to my levels. And like I think, like I say, I do really well with identifying the setups, and like you can see by my accuracy rate that I do pretty well with identifying the setups and patterns. But I just have to learn to hold it to my levels, and like some people are saying, not be quite as emotional. But at the same time, it's tough, man. You know what I mean? Like I'm streaming in front of hundreds of people every morning, and so not only do I have the pressure of having profitable trades just for my account, but I have the pressure of actually doing it in front of a lot of people, and that makes it, you know, people don't understand, but that gives you way more pressure as well, because it's like days like today, if I get out too early, you know, I hear it from the chat, which is actually a good thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm open to constructive criticism 100%. And I think you always kind of have to be. You know what I mean? If you think you're just the greatest trader ever and, you know, you don't need to work on anything, you're never going to evolve as a trader. And so you got to work on holding it to your levels, managing your emotions, and, you know, just basically finding your niche. And, you know, like I say, my accuracy rate's been on point lately, but the problem is that I'm not actually holding it to my levels, and I can identify that. I can acknowledge that as well, and so that's the biggest thing, and that's something I'm going to work on. Trading's a constant process. It's, you know, it's an evolution, and so you always got to focus on improving your trading, because if not, you know what I mean, you're just going to stay stagnant in your trading. You're never actually going to get better.
That's what I wanted to see there, guys. Did you see there's some ads there that went in through there at 31s and 32s? That's what I wanted to see there. 5,000 shares there, go through at 30. This is what we look for, guys. We knew, I already called out way before it even came down here that I was going to look for this resistance bounce and for it to reject that. That's what we're getting here, guys. So this shows me that I should not take profit at 1320s, that I should look for that next momentum down.
Bo, Mitch has his level 2 like that on TEFs, and so I'm not sure how to do that. I trade on Thinkorswim's platform for the most part, and so you would have to ask him how to get your level 2 like that. If you have pressure from us, why are you streaming? I mean, listen, like I actually think the pressure is a good thing, because it helps me to learn how to trade under pressure, and I think that's important, because your emotions are going to get to you, and so it just helps me to manage my emotions a little bit more. And it helps me to learn to deal with the pressure, which is, you're always going to have some pressure in trading, regardless of whether you're streaming it live. You know what I mean?
100%. Look at AOBC with the no volume. It was looking beautiful there at 62.
Yeah, the volume's just a little low for it now, though. I mean, it ran up some, but...
Yeah, my thing is the daily on this one. I know if it comes down and goes through that 14, pew, that thing's at $12 tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, look at that PIEX. Did a few little BY bounces. BBD.
All right, let's see if we get this big move on ITUB here. 10,000 shares going through there at 28.
But yeah, really what I think you guys are seeing in the last 2 weeks, really for me, like up until 2 weeks ago, I was doing extremely well. I was holding the trades to my levels. The last 2 weeks hurt my confidence a decent amount. You know what I mean? Where it's like Mitch, continued to do really well in the last 2 weeks, where it's like the last 2 weeks, it kind of hurt my confidence a little bit. And so at a certain point, it's like, it's tough to explain, but whenever you can have as many green days in a row as possible, but those few losing days, they're still going to hurt your confidence. You know what I mean? And that's something that I have to learn to get over a little bit. And it's something like last week was a green week. Like I was happy with last week. I had 3 profitable days last week, 1 losing day for a tiny loss, and then a break-even day. But my accuracy was on point last week as well. And so I think the last week or two has just been kind of me slowly gaining back the confidence in my trading. And I think that's a constant battle that traders are going to go through as well. And you can kind of learn from, the things that I've done wrong and the things I've done right, is that it's a constant battle. You're going to lose confidence. You're going to gain confidence back. Sometimes you're going to be overconfident. You know what I mean? And you got to learn to just adjust. You want to trade like a robot is the biggest thing. And, you want to... It shouldn't matter if it's a losing trade or a winning trade, like Mitch always says. What matters is if it was a good trade or not,
Mr. Roboto.
Right.
One of the things too, guys, is have a little fun when you trade, guys. One of the key things is if you're doing something you love it. Love it 100%, regardless if you lose or win. It might be easy for me to say this as I've been going on a streak, guys, but really what I notice is that I love this game, guys. It really requires me to be fully here every single day, and that's what trading's about, is really being present in the moment, in the now, and trying to use all your knowledge to do something that takes a lot of process and approach, and then even more on the execution.
Somebody's asking me how to change time and sales on Thinkorswim. I'm not sure. I'm trying to do it now.
I know you can do it. I had a friend that used to use it, and he kind of listened to me with the time and sales thing, and he was able to switch it out. I'm not sure exactly. I'm sure if you contact them, they'll let you know how to do it.
Yeah, I can't figure it out either. I'm not sure.
It's definitely a good tip.
Yeah.
It's a tip that I never learned from any other guru. That just came to me in understanding that how important that level was.
Whoa, what did I do? There we go. Minimize sell. Alright, I'll try to make a video on it if I could figure it out. Click on the size column, filter it there. Oh, yes. So you can, guys. Look. Appreciate that, T America. So look, if you click on the size column on your time and sales, you can show greater than equal to, what do you have yours set up, Mitch?
Dun, dun, dun. Look. Doesn't everyone want to know?
Here, look.
All right, guys.
So look, if you click on the size button on Thinkorswim, you can go greater than equal to 5K, or probably 2K is probably realistic. Or you can do custom size filter, a minimum of, what, 4,000, 3,000? I could do a minimum of 3,000 shares on my time and sales, and that's it. And now it only shows me a minimum of 3,000 on my time and sales. So yeah, that's how you do it. All right, what were you saying, Mitch? Sorry, brother.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I have 3 different ones, guys. I have one for huge trades, one's for something in the middle, and then the kind of what I call the noise, the small trades.
Yeah, but basically the way you do it is you go to the size bar right up here on this top right part of the chart, and you click that, and you can go to custom size filter, and you can change it. Like at this point, I only have it to where it shows me a minimum of 3,000 share orders on the time and sales, but you can customize that to whatever. You could set a max to whatever, but yeah, that's how you do it.
A lot of share size going through there. Definitely some bigger players in this ITUB now.
Yeah.
Look at that AOBC. That thing is going to tank.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Mitch. I think I'm self-taught for the most part. And that's kind of a deceptive word. I've used, with trading, there's a lot of free info online. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of whether you pay for a course or not, there's a lot of free info that you can take advantage of. I never paid for a day trading course. You know what I mean? I don't think Mitch did either. He might have. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But
Yeah, no course.
yeah,
No course.
we never paid for a course, but there's a lot of good free information. Like, I'm not hating on any of the gurus. Like, I think Tim Sykes, Warrior Trading, Foos, they all have a lot of good free info online. I can't vouch for their course or not, but I know they have good free info.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys, I've been a part of just about every single one of them, and the only thing I did is I just took it as a lesson, you guys. Everyone has something to teach you. If you're open to information and not being ignorant, and just actually try to take every information, break it down, see if there's some truth to it, that's how you really gain in trading, I think, and that's how you can gain from even us. Maybe you might not learn every single thing that we do, but if you can just break down our information, find a key point or two to go off of, use that in your own trading, I definitely think your trading should definitely see an increase, not only in the realize, but also in your confidence levels.
Right, 100%.
I can't wait, really, guys, to be able to work with some traders and take them from a level to where they think they were on the verge to really, really just making a giant leap into their profits, and them knowing that it didn't just come from luck, it came from hard work and dedication to the strategy and learning execution. Because I always say, guys, you got to stay in the process, and the approach is the destination.
Sorry, Nina. No promoting other stuff in the chat, Nina. Sorry about that. But yeah, I gotta delete it. Sorry about that, Nina. But yeah, no offense, but we don't allow spamming other stuff in the chat. So sorry about that, but gotta delete it.
All right, guys, gonna see predicting a bounce here. If it does go over 31s, can't do nothing about it here, guys. But if it gets below these 24s, we should get a nice little rocket. There's 20,000 shares that went through there at 1327. You see this right here, guys? That's really what I'm interested in and why the move is starting to happen here, guys.
All right, Tiny. Have a good day. See you. Yeah, we'll see you tonight for the class, Tiny.
Excited to have the class tonight, guys.
Yeah, for sure. Also, I just got word from TradeNet that their 20% off sale is actually going to go on until the end of October, and they told me it was going to end in September. So if anybody's interested in signing up to TradeNet, here's the link. We do make a small commission from it, but it's one of the ways I keep the stream free. And so if you're interested in signing up, there's the link. Biggest flaw to TradeNet and TEFs is that on TEFs, some stocks are not tradable. Definitely the biggest flaw. But we usually find a way to make it work. There's usually a decent amount of options for us as traders, and I think the platform's good, quick fills, cheap commissions. And so if anybody's interested in hearing more, you can go through that link.
Bunch of orders getting filled there. They're thrown out there at 1327 is where shorters are shorting right now. The reason I'm not jumping in there is that I'm giving it a little room to push up to 1330 and reject. But if this just breaks down here, I'll just go ahead and I'll take the next support level down there, guys.
Frio, so you were the one that signed up last week, right? Let me see. Frio, like I said, you were the one that signed up last week. I think we sent you an email, brother. Yeah, Friday. Yeah. So, Frio, I sent you an email at the email you signed up with. Let me know if you didn't get it. I'll send you another one. Or contact me at beginnertrading@gmail.com, Frio. But I think I sent you a onboarding email last week after you signed up. I'm going to resend it to you now. Yeah, once the stream ends, I'll send you an email, brother. But I'm pretty sure I sent one already, so maybe check your spam folder. But I'll resend you another one after today, bro. Hey, appreciate the support, Igloo. Hey, we're happy you value our stream, man. Mikkel, we're day traders. Oh, there's Frio. Okay, yeah, you got it for sure. All right, cool. Before the classes start, we're going to be sending out the link to join the class. Like I said, classes are tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eric, how many traders per class? So with the basic package, there's not really a limit. With Pro, we only allow 10 signups per month on Pro, just because, since Pro since Pro includes private sessions, we have to limit how many signups we can get for that per month, just to be able to give them the time that we need to give them. And so Pro is limited. The basic, if you can sign up through the basic, we don't really set a limit on that since it's a public group.
Yeah, but as of right now, guys, it's gonna be a really, really small class, so that's the best time to take advantage, guys. This is the time that you guys are gonna have to go ahead and access any questions about trading that you have, or maybe your setup. This is gonna be the moment that you can go ahead and take advantage of before we get, a lot of people in there, and then we're gonna have to start running more of a Q&A with certain people.
Right.
But there's definitely gonna be time for Q&A during these sessions so that you guys can go ahead and ask whatever questions and actually get your answers. Sometimes during our live stream here, guys, we can't answer all your questions as we're trading ourselves and focusing on charts. And that's exactly when this time is going to be really useful, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's gonna be much more personal at this point. And once we get more students, we're going to have a lot of questions and we're going to have a lot to kind of manage. But at this point, it's still relatively a small group. And so it'll be a lot more personal, probably for the first month or two. No, Eric. It's at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll send you the link to join the class probably 15-20 minutes before.
Yeah. It's going to be on a live conferencing platform, not YouTube.
Yeah, we'll talk about it, but hold on, Mitch. I'm going to text you, bro. Hold on.
Yeah, just live conferencing.
A good idea for your website, video lesson on how to properly backtest. Yeah, we're most likely going to have a class for that as well, Paul, but I'll probably make a video on that too. And so, yeah, we'll most likely, I think that's one of the biggest things that people ask me for is how to backtest the setup, right? How to backtest the strategy. And so we're going to have classes on it, but we're also going to have videos on it as well. But I think, like I say, like if you... Like people are saying, like I get a little bit too emotional in my trades a lot of the times, and that's 100% correct. And I don't hold the trades to my levels, but what I do really well is kind of back testing the setups and using the data to actually like back test the setups to find viable edges in these setups. And so that's kind of my thing. That's what I enjoy doing is back testing the setups. And I think Mitch and I are both good at different things. Mitch is really good at managing the trade and his emotions. I think I do really well with back testing and identifying the setups. And so we both have our own little niche in what we do well. And I think when you combine both of them, you know, it's huge value for our classes. You know what I mean? So where's your trade at, brother?
Just hanging around, man. It's there at 1323s. It's doing a little bounce there. 1 try, 2 tries, 3 tries to break down. I don't mind if it pushes up to 26, even maybe 20, 27. Nah, not even. It has to 26, hold here, then break down. That's what I'm looking for, guys. Up here in the 30s, and it's kind of swinging back and make it back to VWAP. So now it's at this point where it's in tight consolidation right here. It's trying to break down. It's trying to hold off of this also resistance that has created that was the prior support through this. So 26 it's holding as a resistance and a support there of 21 and 22. So we don't mind if it rejects 26 and then slams right back down to those 22s. That's what we would like to see. We don't want to see it ramp up here in the 27s. One of the good things is, guys, no matter what, I will be positive on this trade. So that's going to be 7 straight green days, guys. And pushing towards my record of 10 days, 10 straight days.
Yeah, man, I tried to beat your record one time. I got up to 8 green days in a row. But I'm just glad that you and I can put some records like that together. And it's all live, too, which is cool. But, yeah, man, you got this, bro. Let's see you beat that record, man. I'll get you one day, bro.
One of the key things, guys, is that it rejected there up there. Now we're seeing the small volume, guys. This is what I talk about, small volume. It's a whole bunch of red just trying to trick people to slam on the bid. And then you see the volume actually add in there. 22, 4,500, 1,500 shares.
Mikkel, so Mikkel, in this trade, Mitch is short. So Mitch is actually going to profit if the stock goes down, not up. It's called short trading. That's a whole different topic to go on. But yeah, Mitch is actually short in the stock. So if the stock goes down, he profits from it. If the stock goes up, he loses money. And so shorting a stock is basically when you profit from the stock going down as opposed to the stock going up, if that makes sense.
All right, guys, I called this same move out back before this drop, guys. I called it out that it was going to come off this support level here, guys, at 2022s. Then it was going to bounce up there to 34s and come right back down to the support here, guys. This is what we want to see. This is what I expect from the strategy. This is why I always say visualization is so important, guys. It's giving me the ability to just stay in this trade, be confident in the strategy, and look for a big shorter to go ahead and knock this down and get me nice and paid here.
My first day and learning so much right out of the gate. Hey, glad we can add value to you, Cookie. Appreciate the support. What does the dark blue lines represent? The dark blue lines are just
important levels, support here, and up here it's kind of old support that became a resistance.
Right. It's just support and resistance line that Mitch has drawn himself. You know what I mean? Like if you look at my charts, you know, for PBR, I drew this support. The red lines are lines that I've drawn myself. And same thing with Mitch. Mitch's are just blue. But, yeah, they're just support and resistance lines that we have drawn on the chart.
You know, one stock that I wanted to trade that I wasn't able to trade today, just couldn't keep an eye on it all day, was I did a really good trade on it on Friday. And that made a nice move there, guys.
Yeah, it faded nicely off the view up towards the end.
Beautiful.
Towards a little bit recently.
my call out earlier on AOBC. I called it out at 1462 off of 1470s, already down to 1450s. If it breaks those 1450s, this can end up at $14 today.
Yeah.
One of the key things that I think I remember to use, guys, a lot is daily charts, guys. Use your daily charts, know those important levels, and know that momentum can come in when it breaks those daily resistance and supports. So if your strategy goes ahead and supports that this is where the breakdown should happen, then on the daily it says this is where the breakdown should happen. And then on another time frame it says this is where the breakdown should happen. That's what we call multiple time frame trades, and that's using very, very high accuracy that's going to help you.
Right. Like you say, you got to look at the macro for the stock and see what the real big moves are doing. You know what I mean? Or how extended the stock is, not just on the intraday chart, but on the daily chart and maybe the weekly chart, just so you can see how extended the stock really is. And it'll ultimately give you a good indication of the extension level, whether it be up or down on the stock.
Yep, correct. All right, guys, don't want to see this bounce over 26 here, guys, now. If it does get back over 26, guys, I'm going to probably just take that profit and get on out of here, take my winning trade, guys, and go ahead and do it all over again tomorrow, guys.
Right, that's exactly shorting. The best way to describe shorting, like the best kind of explanation for it is like if you think about it like this. Shorting a stock is if you had a neighbor that let you borrow a bag of sugar, right? And he let you borrow the bag of sugar for $1, but you thought the overall price of sugar was going to go down to 50 cents in the near future. So you borrow the bag of sugar for him. You wait for the price to go down to 50 cents. So you buy the bag of sugar from him, immediately sell that bag, profit the $1. Right? Wait for the price of sugar to drop back down to 50 cents, buy the sugar for 50 cents and return it, profiting 50 cents. All right? That's basically shorting on a small scale. Instead of your neighbor, it's going to be long-term investors that don't really care what the intraday moves are going to be because they're going to be holding that stock for years. And so they actually loan you those shares and then buy it back from you. You know what I mean? Like that's what ultimately shorting is. It may seem a little bit complicated, but think about it like you borrow a bag of sugar that's worth $1, you sell it, profit the $1, wait for the price to go down to 50 cents, buy it back for 50 cents and return it, profiting that 50 cents. But yeah, man, my kids are home, Mitch, so I probably gotta close the stream down soon, man.
No stress. I should get this move to break down here, guys, and just get paid out, or it's going to bounce here. And then this next minute, we should get this move. The pressure's there on the 20s.
Adley, you don't like my explanation? I mean, that's the best way I can really say it. I know it's kind of confusing, but that's the way I was taught what shorting was, is you borrow something, wait for the price. You borrow something, sell it, profit what it's worth at that current time. Wait for the price to go back down, or wait for the price to go down, buy it back and return it, keeping the difference is what shorting is.
Seeing a lot of volume going through there, guys, but it's dark pool volume, guys. It's not the one that you're seeing here, guys. See a lot of 100 shares go through there, but then you see the volume size go through up there to 68,000 shares really quickly. That's what you call hidden volume, guys. Got to be careful here. If it bounces up, I'll get out over 26 here, guys, but I'm letting this get this crackdown at 20s.
The light blue line, Bo. The light blue line is the VWAP.
No, it's not. It's the 9 EMA.
Oh, you don't have the VWAP up. Okay.
It is. It's just really high up.
Oh. Oh, I see it on my chart. Yeah, the VWAP's at about 1340. It's all the way up
at 13. There you go, guys. There's the breakdown that I wanted to see there, guys. That's what we stay in the trade for, guys. That's what we do here, guys. It's hitting the support right now. I just want to see sizing get in there. And I'm looking to probably get out. I'm setting an order up at 1305 here for this breakdown, but it's all going to depend on the momentum that it gets through it with the big share sizing here, guys.
Yeah, for sure. The VWAP is the yellow line. It's I thought it was the VWAP just because I think my VWAP line is close to that color. But yeah, the VWAP's at 1340, so you can't see it. That's the 9 exponential moving average is what that is. Yeah, I mean, Adley, I tried to say you profit from the stock going short, but I was trying to explain it a little bit more in depth about what it exactly is. Like basically like in a nutshell what shorting is. But yeah, all you really need to know about shorting is you profit when the stock goes down instead of going up. It's like the opposite of going long. All right, Maria, we'll see you later tonight. Have a good day. Appreciate it, Ash. Yeah, I think Why Not probably did a better job than I did at explaining it. Why did you choose to trade ITUB?
Simply the daily and volume.
Yeah, if you look at the daily on ITUB. Oh, wait, yeah, you can look at it down here.
Yeah, I have it here too, if anything.
What's up, Eric? What's up, brother?
No one's wanting to keep it down there, guys.
Yeah, so Mr. Eric, it's a subscription. And so yeah, it'll automatically charge you every month unless you cancel it, Eric. You would have to go to it, depending on how you signed up, would be, the difference in whether you want to cancel it or not. But if you want to cancel it, just email us. We'll cancel it for you. Or I think if you sign up through PayPal, you could just go and delete the subscription from PayPal.
All right, guys, bouncing up here, guys. I don't want it back above this 23, guys. Above this 23, guys, I'll probably just take my profits. But if it comes right back down here, fakes out at 22s, 23s, then comes right back down to those 13, 17s, we should get this move to $13, where I'll look to take some profit at 13.05. Here comes the pressure on 13.23s.
Yeah, no worries, Eric. No worries, brother. I'm always happy to help, man.
Got a rejection there, guys. That's what I wanted to see there. Good rejection now. Now you just want it to break down lower than that 13.17. I don't want to see it higher than 13.23s. Higher than 13.23s, and I'll get out. Holding my shares and not letting myself get out unless the stock tells me to get out. All right, should see a big shorter jump in here and knock it down there. There you go, guys. Good momentum move. Now let's see the pressure there. Boom. Share size getting in there. Let's see it. Let's see this move.
Yeah, that looks good.
13.17.
That looks good, man.
5,000 shares there. 5,900 shares there, guys. I feel like I give away even too much with this, guys. This is literally how you got to trade.
Do you use the upper or lower bands for the VWAP on Thinkorswim? I don't, but it's all preference. You know what I mean?
It's
I just
not
like
a bad thing.
Right. If you look at it, they actually follow those upper and lower bands pretty closely, especially with shorts. Like a lot of times, if you wanted to, you could set your profit target at the lower band a lot of the times, and it would work well.
Yep. What I would tell you guys is that those lines actually. I think it was Bo that was asking about it. It's from the Bollinger Bands. Those are standard deviations.
He used 1323 because that's where the previous support was at 1323. There you go, though. Right. I like that drop.
There's this move, 1315s. All right, there's the pressure on 1315s. Now I'm putting my order to cover there at 1305. If it goes below it, let it keep going. But I'm looking for this push down to the next support level, which if you look, guys, it had this one tick at 1305, guys. This one tick over here, that's what I'm attacking. There's the volume getting in there, guys, at 1314, 1317s. People are shorting the day of the low break and adding to their positions.
All right, my wife's kind of
Yeah, no worries. If you want, you
nudging
can
me.
go ahead and end it down. I'll just hold on.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to send me, if you want to record it and send me it, I can upload the final
Yeah, no
exit
stress.
if you want to.
Hey guys, you guys saw it there, guys. That's all that matters. They're up more than I think like 21 for the trade now.
Yeah,
With only 100
21.50.
shares there, so
But I mean, that's like what? That's more than 20 cents a share you made. So
yep.
good work, brother.
Regardless, there, guys. We're gonna finish the day green. Continue this green streak going. Looking forward to tonight, guys. We'll see you there, guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
Have a good day, guys. Like I said, our classes start tonight at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So if you signed up, you'll get an email, kind of with the link and joining our class. Appreciate all the support today. We had a lot of new subs, so welcome anybody that subscribed today. And yeah, we'll just keep it going tomorrow. And really excited to get the classes started. So have a good day. Also, if anybody's interested in signing up to Trade Ideas, I can go ahead and post that link. Trade Ideas has been nice enough to let us stream their scans, and so I do want to give them a little shout out. So if you're interested in signing up to Trade Ideas, there's a link. You can take advantage of it. And yeah, good luck for the rest of the day. We'll see you all tonight if you've signed up, and have a good day. We'll see you all later.